Okay, Robby from Rockslide here. I've been testing the SIG Sauer ZULU5, their new binocular. I think they came out last year, 2016. Been running it just for comparison against the Swarovski EL. They're both 8x42s. I did some low light testing. That's at a different place in the video. And that was actually a high point for the SIG Sauers. They were neck and neck with Swaros on light transmission. Today I'm shed hunting. I've put about 4 hours on them. You can see how I wore them today, and I just switched. I'd look at a hillside, look at a hillside. I did that on and off for about 4 hours. I probably accumulated an hour and a half, 2 hours of looking through these and these together. And the comparison that I can make, remember, I'm comparing a $500–600 pair of binoculars against a $2,400 pair of binoculars. Now these have a rangefinder in them, so if you jump down without a rangefinder, you're going to be less than $2,000. I really can't remember the prices, but this is my binocular that I use all the time, so I'm very familiar with it, very happy with it. So it only makes sense to me to compare these to these. Some people might not like that, but got to have a comparison. These in this type of lighting today, I've had partly cloudy. Started shed hunting from 6:30, 10 minutes after sunrise till about 10:30 right now, and I can see the differences more than I could during the low light test that I did earlier. They're not as clear as these. They're probably within about 10% though, and I'm no optics expert. I'm really not. I just have glassed a few thousand hours in my life, and I know what my eyes like. So the clarity is not quite as good as these, but it's pretty good. And the depth of field, how much you have to focus from distance to distance, is less with these. So that means you're changing your focus more. I really noticed it today because I'm shed hunting, so I'm looking at hillsides that are 50 yards away, and then I might be looking at a deer at 1,000 yards away. So I notice I don't have to change the Swaros as much as I do these, but it's not much. I mean, it's just enough that it's noticeable. The eye relief, really good on these, just as good as these. I'm an eyeglass wearer sometimes, and I wore my glasses a lot today, and both of them did just fine with the glasses. I couldn't tell a difference in eye relief. The field of view on these is less, and you do notice it at further distances, and even at close distances, like when you're glassing a hillside, like I said, at 50 yards. But you probably wouldn't notice it if you weren't looking through these side by side. As far as the ergonomics, these are lighter, definitely. These have a rangefinder in them, but you can see that these are quite a bit bigger too. These are really nice to pack. I can't say enough about that. They're a great binocular for a guy sneaking around. A bow hunter would love them, and even if you were glassing long distance, these are fine. In fact, the clarity difference that I spoke about is less noticeable at long distance than it is at short distance compared to these two. But again, if you weren't looking at them side by side, I think you'd still be pretty happy with these. One thing these totally beat the Swaros on, they have a 1/4-20 adapter for a tripod. I have not tripoded them yet, but boy, that is so nice to have that option. The Swaros just don't have it. There's a few places, KDC, they'll put in an aftermarket 1/4-20, but I haven't gone with that yet. So that's really nice. And the accessories though, really cheap. I noticed this right away. That should never happen. And I looked at it, and the quick release it just doesn't hold. And boy, you could lose your binoculars in a hurry. The eye cups, which are important when it's snowing and raining. A guy really needs these, and they're just not good. They constantly pull off, as I move the binoculars around. And the strap, it's comfortable enough. I mean, it's fine. It's got a neoprene piece in it. There's no problem there. But if I was trying to save money, but I still wanted good glass, I could recommend these to somebody, but they would definitely need to get an aftermarket vinyl harness or sling for them. I wouldn't trust these in the field at all. But for the price point on these, I have to give them an A for their price point. You know, now compared to these, you know, they're probably more like a B. But boy, there's a lot of money difference between those two. So take it for what it's worth. I got probably 4 or 5 hours on them between the couple times I've used them. I'm going to keep using them. Definitely a good binocular for the money.